Alright, hello guys, and welcome to another video going over our Ryzen 4500U on our Lenovo Ideapad 5. Now, I will let you know I've been messing with the BIOS a little bit, and this is still at the stock 512 megabyte VRAM, but I do have a video coming up showing the BIOS and what you can change those to, and it does not help the system performance really, but we're going to make a video kind of diving into that anyway. But let's take a look at Rocket League running on our Lenovo Ideapad 5 with our Ryzen 4500U, Vega 6, 8 gigs of RAM, 512 gigabyte SSD. We're going to run 720p and 1080p. 720 will be at high settings. 1080p will also be at high settings, but also performance mode to show you those differences. We're going to start off here at 720p high settings with VSync off, and I'll show you those settings inside here. You can see everything right there. Pretty much high settings, 720p, no VSync, good to go. And like a lot of games, this game does run a lot better at 720p on the system, but it can run at 1080, which we will get into as we get farther into the video. Now, I will apologize, the gameplay is pretty rough. I do have a few blocks and a few goals, but with the latency I have between the capture card and my PC, and really my obsession with staring at those numbers in the left-hand side, it's not great. But anyway, it still gives you a really good idea of how this game is running here. So maybe in the future I can learn to ignore those numbers and play better, but I don't know. I really like to stare at the numbers. But anyways, this game runs fantastic at 720p with pretty much maxed out graphics. No problems at all. Now, you're going to want VSync on when you're playing on the laptop's monitor. That's a 60 hertz refresh, and the tearing in this game and on that monitor is just horrible, and you're going to want VSync. And with VSync on, it runs a really smooth 60 FPS on the laptop screen itself, so no issues there at all. Now, I know you guys have requested a lot of games, and I'm working on a lot. I've had to do so many different videos, but I promise there's a lot more game benchmarks for this laptop coming, and I'll try to get to as many requests as well. I've got Battlefront 2, Jedi Fallen Order, The Witcher 3, World of Tanks, and a few others that I'm working on. There's so many games, but I definitely want to try to get to as many as I can while keeping up with the other content on the channel. But I just kind of figured, since everybody's been so interested in the laptop, I'll try to keep those things going as much as possible. Alright, so all we're gonna do now is, I know some of you are always interested in just seeing that 60 FPS steady, and instead of just bumping down our max FPS, I'm just gonna lock VSync in, and you're gonna see our frame timeline down there, our graph line just kind of start leveling out, because you don't have that up and down with the frame with whatever's going on. It's just gonna kind of level out at the 60 for the most part, so no issues there. Definitely going to run great for you on your laptop if you've ordered one of these, or if you have any 4500U. I'd like to hear if anybody has anything besides a Lenovo out there. Anybody got a Swift 3? Anybody got something from another company that I haven't heard of yet? I know Dell's going to be releasing some at some point, but I haven't found any yet unless I'm missing something. So let me know if you've got a 4500U or any of the Ryzen 4000 chips in another company or in a Lenovo, and let me know what you think. I know this is going to be super popular this year. These chips are just crushing it. You can see in one of my other videos that this Vega 6, the lower end 4500U, actually destroys a 10th gen Core i7 Intel in 3D Mark, so pretty interesting. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to lock in our 1080p. We're going to leave everything else alone and just show you what it can do with those settings to compare. And it's mostly a 40s situation. You'll pretty much be able to play in the 40s at 1080p with all the settings left the same as we had in 720p. Pretty high, pretty much all high on the settings. All the little boxes checked off. So now I'll turn off VSync also at some point on here, so you can see it really doesn't make a difference for me at 1080p. It looks nicer on the monitor, without a doubt, but as far as the frame rate, because it doesn't go over 60 anyway, it's really not an issue. Now, you could make this go over 60, or you could get a steady 60 if you adjust the graphics a little bit, and we are going to go in and change over to performance settings, which is going to get us much closer to 55 60 FPS. So a little bit of this gameplay here, and then we'll do that. Look, I almost scored for the other team. It's really bad. The Elgato HD60s Plus has really good latency. I mean, it's pretty quick from the laptop to my local PC, but there's just enough in a game like this where I can't mess up, or in like Call of Duty or something. I just, it's just enough to mess me up. So, and like I said, with those numbers over there, it's better I just drive around and show you what's going on. Like I said, I was in the BIOS, and I was seeing that you can change some things for the VRAM. I ran some Cinebench tests after doing that, and some interesting results. So I will have a video coming up soon going over the BIOS of this laptop and some of the different changes to the VRAM and how that affects the system. It's just going to take me a few more days to get that one put together for you. I got a couple little videos on the MacBook Air 2020 coming out that are going to kind of compare an expensive Apple laptop to this Lenovo, and how it's pretty amazing the amount of features they've packed into this inexpensive, if you want to call it inexpensive, $680 laptop. So a lot of different videos I'm working on besides the game benchmarks. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back into our settings, and we're going to change things to the more performance mode. We're going to boost that FPS a little bit. Now, if you want to boost more and lock in even more of a 60, turn off ambient occlusion with this performance setting, and you'll be fine. There's a lot you can do to have the game run how you want. If I ran every combination, you guys would be here with me forever, and nobody really wants to do that. So I just show you what I can, but you can tweak settings in these games, in this game or any other game for that matter, and really just change your experience. But so you can see here, you can pretty much get a 60 FPS experience now just by changing over to performance mode. Definitely really smooth gameplay, though. I had no issues. I played quite a few rounds before I recorded this and settled on this round for all the tests, and everything ran really great for me. Just like everything on this laptop so far, honestly. I mean, yeah, it's a budget laptop, and I'll be making some more videos about it, but it is doing things that my other laptops really just never were able to do. Pretty cool. And it's not just about Lenovo. As much as I love the Lenovo, these Ryzen 4000 series, I can't wait to get my hands on the 4000 series desktop later this year and do a build on that. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a really nice upgrade, even from my Ryzen 3600 I have now. I have a hunch. We'll see, though. Oh, the orange team just murdered us on this. It was horrible. I'm sorry, team. Okay, so all I'm doing here in the last few seconds is just turning off VSync so you can see no difference in frame rate. I mean, as you know, we're not going over 60 anyway. For the most part, when you're playing, it's going to be in the 50s and maybe hit 60 regardless. But definitely have that VSync on if you want to eliminate the amount of tearing that this game definitely has. Alright guys, that's going to do it for our Rocket League benchmark. I hope this gives you a really good idea through some different settings at 720p and 1080p, how this is going to run for you on a Lenovo Ideapad 5, 15-inch, 14-inch, whatever you may have, Ryzen 4500U, even if you're getting a 4700U, 4800U, whatever the case may be, it just means it's going to run even better. The Vega 6 in this laptop is about 1.14 teraflops, and when you go up to the Vega 7, that's about 1.43 from what I understand, and then so on and so on as you go up. There are some charts out there that you can Google and look up, but definitely it's just going to increase your performance if you up. Now I definitely recommend 16 gigabytes on this if you can. I've got the 8 gig model. It's all that I was able to get on launch day when this came out, but anyway, fantastic laptop, having a ton of fun testing a bunch of different games on here, and there will be a lot more to come. So thanks to everybody that's been supporting the channel, and speaking of which, if you have not, please click that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you know when I drop new videos. Please give this video a thumbs up and leave your comment below. All of those things do a lot to help out the channel. Alright, thanks a lot guys, thanks for checking out the video, and I will see you in the next one.